Hello guys, it is that time of the year again. Everyone's stuck at home, my hair is getting really long, and the LPCI Student Council election is once again off online. So this year, I decided once again to go interview all the candidates to give them a very interesting platform to campaign on. How it's going to work this year is that each different positions are going to get their own video featuring each respective candidates running for that said position. Because otherwise the video is going to be way too long and nobody's going to watch that, and that wouldn't be good. And I basically asked all candidates the same questions, plus a few specific questions about their platform and campaign, if there's enough information about it. Up first are the presidents. Running for president this year, we have Tigran Bleyan, Ryan Knight, the guy that rides the horse, Sam Rosen, and Aristides Love. So first, I asked, why should people vote for you?
Because I'm a very people person. I've always been there for people. I always want to help people. I'm also very active inside the community. I was trying to help out whenever they can with student council or buddies. Helped a lot of people there, and I think people should vote for me because I have the passion and I can help people and I could be the voice for them.
Phew. So this guy's a people kind advocator. He really loves to help the people kind.
That I'm a positive presence around the school. I think that I'm very optimistic and I work extremely hard. People that know me, they know that, I'm a lighthearted person, but, when it's time to get stuff done, I get stuff done and I like to see it done right.
So my main point usually is based on experience. I've been on student council already for a full year, so I have the gist of everything and I understand how it works and obviously the responsibilities that go into it. And so obviously I've been the liaison officer the past year, but I've also been able to see obviously what the president does and what they need to do. So I'm a step ahead of everyone, you could kind of say, and being ready for the position. Yeah.
Experience is key indeed.
Vote for me because I think I would be the strongest leader and I would be able to get the most done to benefit everyone at LP. Out of all four of us, I think I would be the best for the job. Genuinely. I genuinely think I would.
Why do you think you'll be the best?
I'll be able to bring a sense of leadership that I don't think my competitors necessarily bring. I think I would bring the best leadership to the table. And from leadership stems the ability to get way more done.
Just flat out stating that you have good leadership skills with nothing to back it up isn't good. So then I asked, how have they been promoting themselves in this weird online election? And all of them basically said they have an Instagram account. Now Sam has a very, very interesting picture on his Instagram of a cut on his arm and him looking very, very sad. So I was curious about the backstory of that picture.
I'll leave that up for everyone to ponder themselves. I'd rather, leave it a bit of a mystery. But, it's just what I was trying to get across there is, you got to have some grit. You got to be willing to get a little rough, throw some elbows, You got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get what you want done,
Now the washrooms are a big issue out of school. So I asked, if they were elected, can they open up the washrooms?
I would definitely try because obviously there is some power. There's a point where something reaches into a level of jurisdiction where the teachers can't even do that much.
So if it gets to a point where the teachers can't do much, what do you expect the student council to be able to do?
It's just like waiting for the school board to approve funding. And if I'm elected, I will definitely listen to the people, to the students, and the students want the washrooms open. I want the washrooms open. I will advocate for that. I will ask, hey, could you really focus on opening up the washrooms? Hey, we need to get this done. And I have no absolute promise because school board is so unpredictable, especially after COVID-19. It's going to be very unpredictable. Right. But I want to be there. I want to hear what people have to say, and I will voice that to teachers and the school board.
I'll do my best, obviously, because the student council works pretty close with the admin, especially Miss Kelly. So I would say the best I could do was probably point it out and kind of tell her that, students are frustrated with the washrooms not being open, or maybe when you're on the third floor and you got to go all the way to the basement in the middle of class, So obviously it's not my final decision, but there's no saying that I won't do something to try and change it, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think school president really has that type of authority. I mean, as a male at the school, I'd like it if, more than one washroom was open. But, I don't really have the authority over that. And it's really how we treat the washrooms, which is why they're being closed. So I guess it's a bigger issue than just them being closed.
I'm not 100% certain about this, but I don't think I have the power. I mean, I could do all the I can try to convince as much as I can to get the washrooms open, but I mean, there is a reason, I guess, that they're closed. So I don't really have that much power. I can talk to the admin if I'm elected, for sure, and have a bit more of a voice, but I don't know how much I'll be able to do because there's obviously a reason that they're not leaving them open.
Right. Then asked, if people are elected, how do they plan to improve LP?
First of all, it's all about feedback and communication. I need to talk to the students. I want to talk to the teachers, and I want there to be a good connection. I'm the messenger. I'm the connection. I want to make sure that students, if they have any problems, that I will deal with it. That's how I'm going to contribute. I will help students in whatever way I can into helping them, if it's washrooms or some sort of club, some sort of issue or music or drama or something like that. And also I want there to be more sort of, my entire thing is I want it to be less stressful. I want people, especially after COVID-19, like people don't know what's going to happen next year. And I want to be there and reassure everyone that, hey, it's going to be all right. I can help. Student council can help. And I know the best are running for student council in other positions now. I'm very confident that there's going to be a good student council next year that hopefully I can lead.
Okay, so one thing I really want to focus on is kind of making LP more of a community, because I've spoken to a few people, and a common thing they say is that people feel that the school is kind of divided almost. Not really divided, but it's just distant in some ways. So I want our school to become, I want to become more of a community. I want us to become more united, you know what I mean? And people say, oh, I'm from LP. Hey, I'm proud to be from LP. So one thing, I just want to get people more involved, first of all. And one thing, I think we need to, get information out better, I feel. Because, I've been going to the school 3 years. And, for example, I was looking at the yearbook yesterday, and I looked at this page with all these clubs, and half of them I've never heard of. So
that's true. I think
we need to be able to, relay our information to everyone in a more efficient way. So maybe whether that's, on Instagram, making stuff better on Facebook, stuff like that. And then also when it comes to support, one thing I really want to focus on is sporting events. So I've played on the rugby team, and one thing that, I kind of miss, we don't really have that if we played home games, there weren't necessarily that many people out there. And I'm sure all athletes have that common feeling. Everyone likes it when you're out on the field or on the ice rink or on the court, and you have all your friends cheering on for you. It's a really great feeling. So I feel we need to get more people out at those things, whether it's, having it set a number of tickets or seats, I guess, for home games and away games and stuff like that.
I mean, if people don't want to watch sports, people don't want to watch sports. You can't just force people to watch sports. That's not how it works.
I'm sure people at LP want to watch sports. At home games, we have a decent amount of people outside. I think really one of the big ones is away games. If, a couple of away games a year for each team, maybe we could get 50 people able to go, and it's kind of like a field trip for an afternoon. I'm not sure how that would work out with classes and such, because people missing school time, they're missing school time, which is an issue in itself. But if we could just get more people out there, I think that's a great way to show love.
Well, first and foremost, I think it'll be a major issue for me to try and make sure clubs run smoother. I don't know if smoother is actually a word, to be honest, but we'll just say it is. So I think some of the clubs at our school can be kind of choppy, inconsistent in terms of the timetables and their agendas. They don't get as much done because they're not consistent with their meetings and everyone being punctual for them and having a clear agenda. Not some clubs, I'm sure, do a good job. I've been part of clubs that do a good job.
When you talk about clubs,
computer club kind of stuff.
Right, computer clubs. I mean, I was thinking maybe not clubs. Yeah, clubs, but also councils. Like,
Okay.
I was on entrepreneurship club this year, for example, and we got a lot done. Like, we raised a significant amount of money for our little charity that we called Gift Back, that gives back to the homeless. So we did a good job, but I know I've also been part of clubs and councils that aren't run as smoothly and don't get as much done. So I would have consistent communication with the executives of each club to make sure that they have a vision and that they're doing whatever they can. They're being organized to make sure the vision comes through into reality. Because, I mean, the club has a purpose, doesn't it? Every club has a purpose for being
Right.
there. If that purpose is just to hang out and, like, I don't know, play computer games, for example, then that's fine. That's what they want to do. But if a club has a vision to make a change or to make progress with a certain initiative, like, I don't know, the Eco Council, or maybe there's going to be a green club or something, like, I want to make sure that they're able to do what they want to do.
That's interesting.
The second thing I would do is try and make LP more of a community. And what I mean by this is I guess it means improve school spirit. Like, I have a feeling that in the past, things like football games, home football games, for example, more people would go and show up to watch the football games. I think that's a major thing. Being an athlete at the school, it's way more fun when you have a home crowd watching. It's way more fun. But I feel like oftentimes there's not a lot of people that come out. So to encourage that, maybe I could talk to admin or whoever I needed to talk to if I was president to allow us to have a tailgate going or a barbecue or something to encourage people to come out. You know, that's an idea. That's an example of an idea. But I'm open to all ideas. Anyone can come to me.
That is very interesting.
So I think the biggest thing, like I know this past year with student council, it was really, really like disorganized kind of at the start of the year. And I don't know if a lot of that had to do with maybe a lot of new people not understanding their position. Even considering that we had like so many returning members last year, I think there were maybe 3 to 4. Whereas this year, all the people on the council, except for Sydney and I, are going to be returning. So I think next year, if I'm elected president, I could really help and with my experience and kind of help people get the year moving quicker, because most of the stuff that happens in student council is like the beginning of the year, because you have the August orientation day, which who knows if that'll even happen. But you go into September and you're organizing so many like assemblies, and you have spirit weeks, and then you get into charity week and costume ball. And I think I want to make sure that everyone's kind of ready and they understand the role. And I think I can help everyone out. Yeah.
Experience is definitely key. But now, since the election has moved online, I wondered how much do you think the election is based on their policies and platforms, and how much of it do you think is a popularity contest?
Honestly, I think it's a lot. It's definitely a factor of how many people are willing to call you like a demigod, and like how many people are willing to sacrifice everything and go all out and tell people, hey, you got to follow this guy. Hey, you got to do this. You got to do that for this guy. He has to win. Like he's that one guy I high-fived yesterday. And sometimes they could stop seeing like the core values of the actual person. Like they stop seeing what the person can actually do and why they're doing it. That's the important part. Why are they running for student council president? Is it just to be there and, for the resume? And I'm not saying any of my candidates are doing that. I just think if people look at the why, then it stops being more popularity and starts being more actually a student election.
Well, I think that definitely can play a role. If people know you and they know what you're about, it's going to be easier for them to get on board with what you're saying. But I don't know. I wouldn't call it a popularity contest, because no, because that's why we're campaigning. We're campaigning to get people on our side. If it was a popularity contest, why campaign in the first place? You know what I mean?
To make themselves feel better. Makes you feel like you're doing something at least.
Well,
interesting.
I mean, I don't want to go too in depth in that. I think it's not like you're not going to vote for, like, if you have a best friend, you're not just going to not vote for them, obviously. But I mean, um, in a way, I think popularity obviously has something to do with it. But if people also know your name, then that's kind of a benefit to you. And if they know who you are and they trust you, um, I mean, it's kind of a hard topic to go into because I've also had the theory that, like, we've also recorded a bunch of speeches, like each person recorded it and then submitted it. And on the day of the election, I'm thinking, like, how many people are really going to watch those videos? And, I'm hoping the people that do kind of get inspired by certain videos and go for certain people. But I mean, I think campaigning is also a big part of it, just because.
Like, especially now, you can't go talk to people and do
At the
events.
school, yeah. I remember last year I went around at lunch to kind of give a little pitch to everyone, and I gave them some candy, and I think it worked out pretty well.
But now you can't do that. So do you think
No.
popularity has more of an influence on the election? Or is it the same as before?
I think it's the same as before. I mean, if you know someone and you know them well, you trust them, I think you should give them your vote, or give them your vote. But
I mean, I don't really know. As a voter in the past, the last couple of years, I've voted on the best speech, to be honest. So I don't know, whatever I thought in the moment was the best speech. It wasn't really, but the speech, it has, part of having a good speech is knowing that they're actually that they actually mean it and they want to do these things.
Right.
So, sorry, can you repeat your question? I just want to hear it one more time.
How much of the election do you think is based on your platform and policies, and how much of it is a popularity contest?
I don't think it's that much of a popularity contest. I think it's more about how you deliver it, and you need to deliver it with confidence. So I think it's more about the policies and how you communicate with all the students. What you want to do as the president or whatever position you're going for.
Especially when the election is online now, you can't go talk to people on campaign, actually give them
you can talk
events and stuff.
You can talk to people through social media. So you have to talk about what you want to do and what you bring to the table. You have to talk about what you bring to the table, and it's going to be about that.
That's a very good point.